You're listening to the Team Stripes podcast.
Welcome back to episode 69 of the Team Stripes podcast, proudly presented by Acme Whistles, helping you make the big calls since 1870. The legendary Acme Thunder is now available in matte black. Acme Whistles, proudly associated with the NHL since 1917. Ross, how are you this week?
Dude, I am awesome. Game one didn't go so well, but tonight's going great. It's 3-0 Lightning as we speak. So I am a happy camper currently.
Okay, so obviously I'm not doing that bad. I mean, Stars won in game one, so I'm still on their bandwagon, even though I did take Tampa to win game two, with Tampa being, I think it was 5-0 after they lost in the playoffs so far. It looks like they're going to be 6-0 tonight unless Dallas pulls off their come-from-behind miracles, which we all know they are very capable of doing. But I think we need to talk about game one.
Sure.
Stars obviously won 4-1. 4-1 with an empty netter.
Yep. Honestly, that whole performance was the Lightning looked exhausted. Like, just they weren't there emotionally until the third period and didn't get any puck luck. And, oh, look at that. They're on the power play again. So they didn't get any puck luck. Kudobin, stood on his head, threw up a couple of prayers as far as saves go. Like the one where he reached up with his blocker while he was on his stomach. Like, come on. So it just, that's the game. That's why we play. And it was an entertaining third period. That's for sure. The Lightning were like, oh, hey, we should probably show up now, and got 22 shots. So,
yeah, I was going to say, I mean, Tampa didn't play for 40 minutes. The Stars capitalized on that.
Yep.
Tampa came out in the third period, 22 shots on goal to, I believe it was 3 for the Stars in the third.
Yep, 2 or 3.
There was a funny tidbit, and I believe from the 12:40 mark of the second period up until the end of the game, the Stars had 4 or 5 shots, with 3 of them being goals, one of them an empty netter. So, mean, does that really count? I don't know.
Well, it was just one of those things too. Like when it was 2-1, I think it was Braden Point hits the crossbar.
Yep.
Puck goes down the other end, and then it's 3-1. So we went from, an inch away from it being a 2-2 game to it being 3-1. So, but that's just how it goes.
I was going to say that's hockey for you for the most part.
That is.
Another interesting thing that happened in game one, I believe at the end of the first period or end of the second period, Pat Maroon shot the puck into the Stars bench. What's your thoughts on that one?
So that not good. Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't game him, to be honest. It's one of, you just don't do that. I get gamesmanship and all that kind of bull crap, but dumping a puck into a bench, you're just asking for trouble. I remember years ago, it was one of my first years in the SPHL, it happened, and luckily I was not on that game, but oh my God, I think the guy got suspended half the season, something crazy like that. Now, granted, he literally skated to the bench and just cranked a slap shot into the bench, whereas, Maroon just kind of tossed
Give him
it
a
that
little
way.
wrister in.
It's still, though, you can't do that, to steal the phrase from Mike Lego.
Yeah, I agree. Completely stupid move on his part. I think a veteran move, maybe kind of trying to get something going. I don't think it got anything going. You could sit here and say it could have, because they came out and had 22 shots in the third period. I just think it was a stupid move, but it's the game within the game. Yep. It was one of those wily veteran moves that you're like, really, like as an official, you're like, really, dude, like we're gonna do this.
You just made my night a lot harder.
Oh yeah, you could see like the linesman's like, oh no, like here we go. I'm fine with it. I mean, a 10's a 10 there. Sat him for 10 minutes. I mean, there was no injury, nothing.
Yeah, nobody got hurt. There. It's just one of those things, man.
It's just a stupid play.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to put it.
So I know at any other level, see you, bud.
Oh, 100%. If that happens in a youth game, see you later. Like, goodbye, go home, get out of my face.
Yep.
But in the last week, since we last chatted, we had one big trade in Marcus Johansson going over to the
Okay.
Wild, and the Buffalo Sabres requiring forward Eric Stahl.
Ooh.
Yes, but at the same time, why? I mean, the guy's 36 years old. You're in the middle of a rebuild.
Um,
Besides a veteran presence, what does
I,
he have to offer?
a guy like that to have around Eichel could be a good thing.
It could be huge.
Because Eichel really, like, yeah, there have been other guys there, but Eric Stahl, a guy that's been around the league, I believe he's won a Stanley Cup, at least one, right? With
What?
Carolina in 06?
Or was that Jordan?
I don't remember.
There's three Stahl brothers in the league. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
can't keep track
true.
of them. He might have won it with Pittsburgh.
Maybe. I'd have to look it up. But anyway,
Yeah.
having a veteran guy like that that's been around a while, he knows what's up. I think it could be good for Eichel. I think that's probably where they were going with that move.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I mean, he's obviously a veteran presence in the locker room. He's still a great centerman. Like, he can win draws. He can lead the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're in where the Sabres are at, you're trying to get younger. You're trying to get better.
Yeah.
I think a 36-year-old, I don't know, he might have a year or two left on his contract.
It might, honestly, it's probably just a leadership thing.
Probably.
If you're going to rebuild a team, why not bring in like a veteran guy to help guide the way?
Yeah, and then Marcus Johansson going over to the Wild will definitely help their scoring.
Yes.
Since they can't put a puck in the net to save their life and like to win hockey games 2-1. I think that's a good trade for the Wild. Gets them a little bit younger, I believe. We've also had two big signings and then two littler ones in Jonas Brodin signing a 7-year contract to the Minnesota Wild with a $42 million total contract, cap hit of $6 million. I believe there's a no movement clause in his contract. So starting year 4, there's a no movement clause.
Good for him. He got paid.
Oh, he got paid.
That's all I have on that one. Good for him. He got paid.
So I really like the contract. Just looking at the numbers, I think we see a lot of front-loaded or back-loaded contracts in the NHL. This one's a middle-loaded contract.
Interesting.
Obviously, with the salary cap and everything staying stagnant for at least a year.
Yeah. Which kind of messes stuff up for everybody. But
exactly. So he took 4 years or $4 million and $5 million in the first 2 years, and then he sees a spike to $8 million for 2 years, and then he starts the slow decline down.
Okay.
I think that's a great contract for him. I mean, he's a solid blue liner,
and sounds like a good contract for the Wild as well.
Oh, it was a good for both teams.
That's a win-win.
Yeah. And then we also had Joel Edmondson signing to Montreal after getting traded there. He signed for 4 years, $14 million with a cap hit of 3.5. He's solid.
I don't know much about the guy, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean he's solid.
Other than he got a $14 million payday. So
yeah, like good on him, right? I mean he's solid, good to go. The other two smaller ones, Daniel Sprong. I don't know.
No clue.
Yeah, I mean. Washington Capitals, 2 years, 1.5.
Okay.
Last time I checked, he was a fourth liner. Hey, he gets the job done. I mean, you got to have those guys on your bottom six to fill out.
That you do.
Jared McCann of Pittsburgh got a 2-year.
Also, another guy off my radar.
Yeah, 2-year, 5.88. I know absolutely nothing about him, but hey, you're getting a payday, and that's all that matters.
Nice. That's all. Hey, other podcasts I've listened to, guys always say, make your money and get out.
Exactly. So I mean, good on them. They were both RFAs, so that tells me they were at least younger guys.
Yeah.
So maybe a bridge contract, who knows? I mean, I don't know too much about either of them, but good on both of them. We have to talk about the World Juniors.
Yeah, so we're going NHL playoff style in Edmonton with the World Juniors.
Yep. So
Doing a bubble.
they are going to take over the Edmonton bubble. I don't know when. I'm guessing it's going to be in the normal World
Normal
Juniors.
time frame. Yeah,
So
so
Boxing Day to January 5th, I believe.
yeah, something like that.
The only thing I have no issue
I'd
with
say,
it.
you know what? Smart move, keep the kids safe. It obviously this bubble thing works.
Yep.
Because I mean, the NHL has clearly proven we can start in August and not have a single guy get sick in, 2 months almost.
Yeah. I mean, the only
So
disappointing thing, obviously, no fans are going to be
no
there.
fans, yeah.
But I mean, not a surprise. With
Yep.
that, there's also not going to be any relegation or promotion for 2021.
Makes sense.
So generally, the bottom two teams play for relegation. One of them gets relegated. The other one comes up from the bottom division, Group A, Division 1.
Yep.
Since
again,
those are canceled.
Yeah, that also makes sense because you might have guys that aren't available to put your best team on the ice. So smart move, good job IHF. I'll agree with that move 100%.
Yeah, and the other, I guess, hiccup that's coming along with the bubble is Canada was supposed to host this year anyway. The IHF decided to have Canada and Sweden switch when they're hosting. So Sweden was supposed to host 2022 and 2024, and it sounds like Canada and Sweden are switching those.
Okay.
So I believe Canada's going to host in 2022 and Sweden in 2020.
So they're going to go
2024.
Okay, so they're going to go Canada 2 years in a row.
Correct.
Okay.
Because in theory, so it says
again, if they have to set up another bubble, they'll be able to do it.
100%. But yeah, so the World Juniors for 2022 will be hosted in Edmonton and Red Deer, Alberta, rather than it being in Sweden. And so Sweden will now host the 2024.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
yeah, I mean, I love the World
playing
Juniors.
It safe.
I'm glad they're on. I mean, that's my biggest thing.
Hey, at least they're playing, right?
Exactly. And we have to talk about coaches. There's 2 coaching hires that I saw come across in the past week. We have an assistant coach getting added to St. Louis in Jim Montgomery. Everybody might or might not know him. He was the Stars head coach till he got fired this year due to personal reasons.
Yep.
The whole scandal came out.
Sounds like he took care of his personal problems and he's getting a second chance at being a coach in the National Hockey League, and good for him. I just like the Bobby Ryan situation and others, like if you go get your stuff straightened out, I'm all about guys getting second chances, especially when they have some kind of problem that they need to deal with and when they overcome it.
Yeah, I love that he's got an assistant coaching job. I think it's awesome. I rooting for him since day one to become a head coach again. I think he will be fairly quickly, whether that's with St. Louis or a different team. Don't know, but he's a great coach, and it's awesome to see he gets a second chance. And the Capitals, after firing their head coach, after a quick search, in my opinion, found the new head coach in Peter Laviolette.
Too quick of a hire. I think they should have waited. And then obviously we're back in the washing machine of guys that have been around for a long time. Now Laviolette's got a cup. So there's that obviously, but it's just one of those things, like he's been coaching since I was a kid. Like, let's get like new blood coming up. So that's my only thing. I mean, obviously he's going to be an effective coach. He's been there, done that, all that stuff. But it's just one of those things, like, when are we going to, stop using the washing machine and bring in some new talent?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, Laviolette's a great coach. It's been to at least 2 Cup Finals, winning one of them. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of not tired of seeing the washing machine, but it's one of those things where it's like, hey, there's a lot of great coaches in juniors and college that maybe they should get a look. Even in the AHL Coast League, like those guys maybe maybe they are getting a look and just aren't getting hired. I mean, I'm not sitting in the hiring
Yeah,
process. Yeah.
Yep.
But
we're just a couple of lesser refs talking about
yeah.
other things.
I think he'll be a good fit in Washington, though. He's a very defensive
I
style
thought it
coach.
was interesting though that Ovechkin didn't sign a contract extension.
Is he
I saw.
is he
I
got a
d-
UFA or like 1 or 2
I
years?
no, I don't. I think he's got a couple years left, but I think I read that he's not signing a contract extension yet. Oh,
Interesting.
beauty call by the linesman. One of the Dallas players has the puck and skated into the zone backwards,
Waves
and
it off.
waves it off like we should. Good job on the lineies. Anywho,
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually looking up Ovechkin's contract right now because I am curious.
Cap Geek or whatever the
Yeah,
website is.
yeah, he's done at the end of this 2021. So is that next season?
Next year.
So he's got a year left. So
Yeah. So why not? Like, why not play through the season and just see what happens with the
I was gonna
cap?
say he's got lots of time to sign.
Yeah.
He's definitely not going anywhere.
I don't see him going anywhere unless there's like a situation that he doesn't like.
Yeah, my only thing is he's 35. So is he re-signing with the Capitals, or is he saying, "Hey, I'm kind of done playing hockey," or "I want to go back to Russia"?
Oh, he ain't done.
No, I don't disagree.
He's got like 170 more goals to score first.
100%. I agree 100%. I think he comes back with the Capitals, probably signs a 3-year deal, something like that.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's still a year away.
Yeah.
I think with that, we have to go to the interview for today.
Who's our interview?
Yeah, so the interview we got is Nick. He is probably the biggest Dallas Stars fan I have ever known. He's kind of a local legend down here in Dallas. A lot of guys know him as the Bang Guy. Love him or hate him, he is the Bang Guy for the Dallas Stars.
So what entails being the Bang Guy?
So he sits
have a
right
trash
behind the
can?
net. No, he sits right behind the net at Stars games, behind the visiting goaltender for the first and third period. And he used to bang on the glass.
Okay.
And apparently the NHL told him, "Hey, you're scaring the players. Don't bang on the glass."
Okay.
So he ended up getting a sign. It just says "bang" on it. He is the funniest guy ever. He's a great guy. And he's honestly a local legend down here.
So they told him he couldn't bang on the glass anymore?
Yep. I don't know why.
My mind is blown. I thought if you paid for the seat, you could bang on the glass all you wanted.
I mean, maybe it's scaring the players. I don't know.
Scaring the players.
Probably scaring the referees. Let's be realistic. Distracting us.
I mean, if he's banging on it with like a coin in his hand.
Nope. It was just his hands.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a great guy, though. This interview is proudly sponsored by our amazing sponsor at Acme Thunder, or Acme Whistles. The
Acme Thunder, Acme Whistle.
Yep. The Acme Thunder, you can buy it in our store at goteamstripes.com. And it's got the logo on it. It's the matte black one. They are awesome. They're sick. I love them. Go buy one because they are awesome. With that, we'll send it over to the interview. We are joined by Nick. I would classify him as the biggest Stars fan ever. Nick, how are you?
Fantastic. Yourself?
I can't complain. Nick, it is the day after Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals where the Stars are in for, the first time in 20-some years?
20 years.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Game 1 after a Stars win?
I thought it was a fantastic, complete game. Tampa had no idea what was coming to them. And to the benefit of having that extra day off really showed.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100% there because, I mean, Stars had 4 days off in between?
Correct. Yeah, they had 3 or 4. They had 3 or 4 days off, and Tampa had 2. I mean, it just shows how Tampa was tired.
Mm-hmm.
And Tampa. NBC was talking about how Tampa, and their defense we're gonna watch out for their defense. Well, we have our own.
For a lot of people that probably don't know who you are, in Dallas, you're known as the Bang Guy. I think for the most part, you come to every Stars game in a white sport coat with a green shirt and your Bang sign. Like, where did that come from? How did that all start?
Well, first off, it's a full Don Johnson look, even with the the slides.
Okay.
And my dad, back in the day, who always came to games, he would always dress up in his white suit and zebra tie, and it was just well known, and that's what he's done outside, and that's what it's not what made him. It's not what made him. It's what he's known for.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried to adapt to that inside the arena, taking over what he's done.
I like that. So you sit front row right behind the visiting goaltender for the first and third period?
Correct.
How much fun is that? I mean, like, we see you on TV all the time. Like, how much fun is it to sit there?
It's literally, I mean, it's the best seats in the house. You have the Stars shooting twice at your net. So the biggest problem is overtime. During the regular season and in overtime hockey, they get the other side
Mm-hmm.
gets it. But I mean, it's the greatest. They're the greatest seats in the entire world.
So how did you get into hockey? I mean, like, did you play growing up, or was it just something like your dad, like you said, your dad would always go, so you just started going?
So my thing is, I was too short for football. I was just a pipsqueak. I tried to play the game and never really got much time. And so when the Stars came in '93, my dad kind of turned me on to this, it's, football, but football on skates. And so I went through the typical Texas progression back in the '90s, where it was street, roller, and then ice. And I found out I was a pretty good player, and played travel hockey. I played college hockey, and then my career fizzled out,
Just like the rest of us?
just like the rest of us. And now I'm full on in beer league.
You're the best beer leaguer there is, though. You're just a joy to be out there.
Man, and the thing is that I treat every ref the same I would another person. I give you guys so much shit, and the thing with the shit is it's fun.
Oh, it's the best.
It's entertaining. It's what beer league was meant for. Sure, you'll have a couple of really, bad, missed, awful calls. Yeah, I have one call where I got completely high sticked in my mouth and all that stuff, and the ref completely missed it. So I threw off my helmet, and I showed them and go, "You missed this. You missed this," and because I was bleeding. And the guy blew the whistle, and they go, all right, get off the, just get off the ice, you're good. It was just one of those, missed it, and I was completely fine. The ref was completely fine. I was completely fine. It's just to go, you missed it. You know, instead of one of those if you throw, if it's like with me it's different. If some random person throws, their helmet down, that's an automatic. Am I correct?
I mean, it depends on the situation, but it's most likely a penalty.
Yeah, it's most likely a penalty. Yeah, it's most likely a penalty. But it wasn't a penalty with me because I know for I sat there and I go, you missed this.
And you probably did it
Yeah,
so nicely
he
too.
sat there and he's like, yeah, man, my bad, sorry. And then just walked off and it was good.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably my favorite beer leaguer, like in Dallas, just because you're. I mean,
The energy.
yeah, you don't take
Entertain-
it seriously. You're out there having fun, which is what it
No,
should be.
exactly, and that's what beer league should be for. Absolutely, man. It's about giving. It's about giving shit. When shit's warranted. It's about having fun.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
the problem is you have that select few people that take it so seriously, and people like them, it turns me off for
Mhm.
sure. Turns me way off.
So being in Dallas, I mean, since the Stars came in '93, you said, like, how has the hockey culture in Dallas changed? I mean, it's still, I think, technically a non-traditional hockey market, but like, how have you seen the growth from '93 to now?
Well, first off, the addition of more rinks
Mm-hmm.
really helped propel what the hockey, really helped propel the youth in growing the sport. That was first and foremost. The success of the Stars, in the 2000s and the 2010s, it was mediocre. But the thing is that more and more people are really trying to grasp the fact that hockey's a fun sport,
Mm-hmm.
and even it is probably the most expensive sport to play. But
Yeah.
more and more people are trying to grasp that, and personally, I love what the Stars are doing with the beginners, giving them the free opportunity to try out the sport and see if they like it. The Stars have done a fantastic job in trying that, and I really love that.
So
It's just growing the sport, and that's ultimately what we want. We won't hit NFL level. I'm pretty sure we won't hit NBA level. I mean, I hope we hit NBA level, but it's a real growth, and you're starting to see people like Seth
Seth
uh,
Jones, the Jones brothers.
Seth Jones, and then and the other kid too. Who's the other kid that plays for the Avalanche?
I know Blake Coleman was from Dallas. He's from Plano. Plays for
Yeah, the
Tampa.
player played Coleman too. I mean, you're sitting there looking at people like that actually, I mean, that are making it,
Mm-hmm.
and you look at those people as a 6-year-old and be like, oh my God, I might have a shot here in Dallas.
Which I mean, I think is huge. Just having that one or two people that's like, oh, I actually do have a chance to come out of Dallas. And I think more so that Dallas is becoming a hockey hotbed more than anything.
Yeah.
I want to know what has Stars games been like? I mean, back in '93 all the way up till now, like how have they changed? What's the fan base like?
So when hockey came to Dallas in '93, the team tried to put it as football on ice. That's what it was, and so you had those people that were kind of fans of football, but also the introduction of a brand new sport in the Metroplex.
Mhm.
And so people were very, very genuinely interested. And sure, you have the people that come, or people that are move to Dallas and they're like, and they're already hockey fans. Yet, oh, there's a hockey team now, and so all of a sudden, the Stars did really well by winning in their first few years. From '93 to '99, they progressively got really, really, really good, and and I think that right there helped propel the youthness in terms of the youths trying to, oh, wait, hold on, it's a fun sport, let me go try it. And so it tapered off a little bit in the 2000s, minus 2008, and it's just been growing exponentially.
Okay.
We people like me can't find a beer league game past 9 or 10 p.m.
Hmm.
and that's due to the fact that more and more kids are so much more interested that they're playing.
Yeah, and they're taking all the good ice times away
They're
from you
taking all the
guys.
good ice time, and I don't mind that.
No, not at all. So one last thing, I got to know, what is your favorite hockey memory?
Oh man, my favorite hockey memory. Let's hope it happens. I'm not going to say anything right now about you know my potential favorite hockey memory because that I look for game two. I go game to game, but my favorite hockey memory was I was in summer camp in '99, and I was at the Colorado series, and then I had to go to summer camp for the Buffalo series. So I think I went to games 1 and 2, and then had to leave. And so I'm sitting there, we do our campfire stuff and go to bed, and I've got the radio in my head, listening to the game, and the counselors, at the camp I was at, come in hammered. It's just what camp counselors do on their days off. Uh, they come in hammered, and they're like, "What are you doing up?" I'm listening to the game, and then 2 or 3 in the morning, when Brett put that puck in, I went out and I screamed the loudest scream in my entire life. I said, "Stars won the Stanley Cup! The Stars won the Stanley Cup! Oh my God, yes!" And it woke up the entire camp. The entire camp. And then I got a phone call or not a phone call. I got a message on the loudspeaker. Nick Moroch to the boys' camp office. And so the director goes, "So the Stars won the cup. Are you planning to do any shenanigans like that again?" And I was like, "Nope, nope."
Well, hopefully they can figure it out and do that again this year for you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just look for game two.
Yep. Game
I
two's
take
on Monday night.
I take every game. I relish every moment. My biggest after the Duck series, I was sitting there with a buddy of mine, a couple of rows back, and we were sitting there. It was game 6, and the Stars were up 2-0, up by 2, and so my buddy was sitting there. He's like, "Hey, listen, I got a plane, and we can head to Anaheim tomorrow or next day." And I go, "Listen, I will buy tickets right now if you will fly me. I'll buy glass seats right now if you fly me to Anaheim." And he's like, "Done." And so right in the middle of the third period, Anaheim scores, and so I'm like, "Oh my God, no, no, no!" and then they tie it up with the 6-on-4 with the goalie pulled, and end up closing us in the series. I sat there after that moment. I'm never ever going to take advantage of a moment like that ever in my entire life, because you can sit there up on cloud nine with 2 goals, leading into the third period, and they all of a sudden put 2 on you in the third and close you out in overtime. It's I'm never doing that again.
And I think the Stars have proven that time and time again this playoffs with all their wild comebacks.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. The Vegas Game 5.
Mhm.
I sat there and I was like, I was sitting there. I was like, I still believe. Don't worry. I mean, people were letting down, and I go, these guys are the comeback kids. Are you serious? These are the comeback kids of 2020.
Yeah, ever since they did it against Calgary, I was like, we're good.
Yeah, you're sitting there. I mean, what was it? Was it 2? Yeah, it was 2-0.
Yeah, against Vegas.
I sat there and I go, I sat there and I go, they got this.
Mhm.
They're a better team. It's good. We're fine. And people were just like, no. And I go, you must be a fair weather fan, because I know exactly what my team does.
Well, I will gladly tell you that I'm on the Stars bandwagon for the Cup final.
Finally.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it only took 3 months
3
for
rounds.
me to get there. Yeah,
Took you 3 rounds.
but Nick, thank you for coming on. That's all I got for you. It was an absolute
Brenden,
pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
You're the best, and I can't wait to chirp you all day. You know that.
I know. I can't wait. Thank you, man.
All right, man. Go Stars. Bang.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back from the interview. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to move forward and kind of wrap up the podcast here with a couple of things to talk about. So something we didn't bring up was during Game 5 of the Lightning and Islanders series, the 85-second delayed penalty. I know we've all had those moments where we see something happen, we throw our arm in the air, and then we're skating around some more. Like, will you guys touch the damn puck already? My arm's going numb. So, good on the refs. Like, that's always fun. I mean, heck, by that point, the guy that committed the penalty might have already gotten off the ice and then come back out.
I was just say 2 things. One, you could see his arm progressively going lower and lower, which is
was it one of those where it started
was
up
straight
here?
up, and then by the end it was like maybe half cocked. But it was hilarious because like we've all been in those situations where it's like somebody touched the puck because my shoulder is on fire.
At what point do you say screw it and just blow the whistle?
Or you're just like, hey guys, I forgot why my arm's in the air. Because I know me personally, like I would be sitting there. Yeah, I would be sitting there like, oh shit, who's this penalty on? What am I think it's oh geez. And like I would totally forget. Obviously that's why I'm not a referee, because I don't need to remember that stuff, nor can my arm be in the air for that long. But good on him, because that was I got a laugh out of that one.
Because, I mean, for us linesmen, it's, icing up in when the puck go down the ice, my arm go up.
And that's the most I'll do it for.
Oh, my goodness. Actually, before we get into our rule question for the week, did you work games this past weekend?
Yeah, we actually had a girls AAA in town.
Oh, how was that?
It was actually really fun, and
Sweet.
I remember going out on Friday, and I was like, I'm pretty sure these are like my first all-female games, or one of the very few.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it was great hockey. I mean, we ended up doing – so it was 14-year-olds or U14s, U16s, U19s for girls.
Yep.
I got to do –
that extra year.
Yeah, I got to do U16s. They were really good games, really competitive, really fun.
Awesome.
I think I only had one miss hit that I saw it, and the coach kind of gave me a look, and I was like, ooh, maybe.
I guess.
Yeah, like it was one of those ones where it's like she rode her into the boards but didn't lower her shoulder. No, I think we're good. But I mean, it was fun. It was the girls were they're so fun to watch, in my opinion.
that's a situation where you're like, honestly, coach, I have no idea what I'm doing out here.
Yeah, because he called me over and he's like, hey, can you explain to me how that wasn't a hit? And I was like, she just
I don't
kind of
know.
like rode her into the boards. Like, did she lower her shoulder? No. Did she extend? Maybe, but like no. And he was like, okay, like I'm fine with it. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I worked opening weekend. We had USPHL. They had a game Friday. I did Saturday. I lined one ref to one. The game I refed was pretty fun until the third period when one of the donkeys that I've had all 4 years he's played on the Tampa team decides we're skating into the end zone. He looks at me, looks at the guy that he's chasing, and cross-checked him in the mouth. That was fun.
At
So
least he looked at you first for
yeah,
permission.
right.
Like he was like, hey, I'm going to do this, by the way.
I was like, I gave him a major. I'm like, we're going major high stick here.
Mm-hmm.
And after I throw my arm in the air, he starts skating towards me so the goal, after he did it, the goalie skates into the corner to go after him.
Oh, of course.
The other team's going down the ice with the puck, but I'm like, nope, not happening. So I just shut the play down because I'm not dealing with a goalie attacking a guy.
No.
So then the kid starts skating towards me. I said to him, if you know what's good for you, you will turn around and skate away from me because I am very mad at you.
Did he turn around and skate away?
Yep.
Yep. He was like,
right. He went right to the box. I go to the coach. I'm like, dude, I go, you know I don't give out majors, but I got to give him a major for that. He goes, well, I really didn't see it. I'm like, dude, I got to do it. He goes, okay. So I go back a little later, and he's like, hey, Ross, like, yeah, what's up? He goes, I sent the assistant coach back to watch. He goes, yeah, that was a 5.
At least.
He goes, I was planning on benching him after what he did in the first period, which he was just being a dummy.
Yeah.
He goes, but yeah, he's not playing our next game because he's an idiot.
I love coaches like that.
And then on Sunday, I did a U16 AA game where no hitter until the third period. And then my first penalty of the game was a major game for boarding.
Awesome.
You know.
Just a casual first penalty of the game.
Yeah, first penalty game, major game boarding with like 10 minutes left in the third.
That's how it should be.
And then after they killed off that major, another kid on the team decides to fire the puck at me.
Oh.
Not on purpose, but like he had his head down and just shot it at me.
Obviously.
Hits me with it. Luckily, I get my hand up. And then he has the nerve to say, get the fuck out of the way.
Well, did you get out of the way next time?
No, I banged him for 10.
Good. I don't understand why players do that. I've never once understood. Like, it's just pick your head up.
Yeah. He had his head down and he just fired it and had the nerve to yell at me, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, quick PSA
I said,
to
no. That's not how this works.
Yeah. No.
You are 16. I am 34. You are not going to talk to me like that. So the other team had the puck for a solid, probably about minute and a half. And then when his team touched the puck, I blew a whistle. He'd already gotten off the ice. I yelled, 7 Blatt, go to the box.
Those are the best, too, because then he's got to do the skate all the way across.
And then I think it was his dad yells from the stands, that's fucking ridiculous. Get the fuck out of the way. I'm like, oh, well, I know where he got it from.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, these were the same parents that were pre-gaming in the parking lot for a 10 a.m. game.
Hey, those are the best parents.
So,
yeah, I've never understood a player intentionally or not, shooting a puck at a referee and then yelling at us to get out of the way.
When you could have easily looked up and be like, oh, the referee's there. I got 84 other feet to shoot the puck at.
Well, not even that. He probably had 84 feet of room to skate.
Yeah.
I mean,
the rink's 85 feet wide. I only take up about 1.5 feet.
Yeah,
let's go, bud.
My go-to line is like, I've been here all night. I'm going to continue to be here all night. Play around me. I'm not that hard to miss.
Yep.
It shouldn't be that difficult.
Nope, not at all. So with that, we're going to get into our rule question. If you're still listening to the podcast, good on you. Here's
I hope you are.
Here's
This is a
our rule
good
reference.
rule. You brought a good rule up.
So I've been doing this for 18 years with USA Hockey, and I learned a new rule this year. I did not know this. So, oh, damn, Dallas just scored on the power play because Andre Palat got a slashing call.
Shocker.
Anywho, so here is the situation. So play is in the Team B attacking zone. Team A player decides to get a minor or a double minor. No. Team A player gets a minor.
Okay.
Team B player gets a double minor.
Okay.
So we're in Team B's attacking zone. There's a stoppage of play. We have a minor on Team A and a double minor on Team B. Where's the face-off?
Okay.
That is our rule of the week.
I like that. To simplify it, there's 2 minutes up on the board. Team B's killing a penalty.
Yes.
And the face-off was in their attacking zone. Or the stoppage was in their
the
attacking
stoppage
zone.
was in the attacking zone.
Where's the face-off? I like that.
So there's our rule. And then
Send
with
those
that,
in, boys.
Yep, send in your answers, and if you really want to go above and beyond, tell me where in the USA Hockey rulebook it is.
Oh, I want to know where it is in the rule. Give me I want the exact rule down to the page number, fellas.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Anywho, so with that, we're going to go ahead and plug our Team Stripes Academy. If you're looking to improve your game and want to learn some interesting and really well in-depth stuff, check out the Team Stripes Academy. It is the master course on refereeing by the legend himself, Mr. Don Koharski.
Yep. And one last thing before we wrap it up, the NHL came out today saying they obviously are doing the best they can to allow fans into next season, which is great news, I think, for all of us. I know I miss going to hockey games. I'm sure you do too, and I'm sure
I just want to go to
does.
I just want to go to a game and pay $14 for a beer.
I mean, thankfully, it's not that bad in Dallas. I think we pay 10. But I mean,
it is a tall boy.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a 25 or 50% capacity. But hey, you know what? It's live NHL, and that's the best.
Yep.
And that wraps up today's episode. It was episode 69.
Nice.
And it was a great episode. I think this is our 10th episode too, together.
Nice.
So that's our little milestone, 10 out of the way. Again, guys,
10 down, a lot more to go.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, thank you for listening. We have to give a huge shout out to our sponsor at Acme Whistles. You can buy the Acme Thunder matte black ones on our website at goteamstripes.com. Go buy them. They're great whistles. That's the one I use. That's the one Ross uses. That's the one you should use because they are just the best. Thank you guys for listening. Tune into next week. We'll be back on Tuesday. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time.